Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are strapping in for a hyper-optimized journey into competitive mechanics. We're tackling the question that really defines aspiring pros in games like CS2, Valorant, Overwatch.
Yeah, the big one.
How do you master that raw, fundamental skill? Because it's not just about time in game anymore, it's about full structured obsession.
It really is. The sources you sent over, they don't just recommend practice, they reveal this whole sophisticated global ecosystem. It's all designed for mechanical perfection. And we're really looking at a two-pronged strategy here.
Yeah.
On the software side, you've got this rigid, almost globally standardized training blueprint. It's all built around the Voltaic benchmarks.
Yeah, the other side.
And on the physical side, the hardware, the entire scene is just converging on a handful of extremely specific choices.
Like what?
We're talking ultralight mice, these really specialized, precision-focused mouse pads.
So our mission today is to take this complex, almost clinical approach to aiming and distill it down into genuinely actionable knowledge for you, the learner.
Exactly.
We need to unpack that Voltaic philosophy, the difference between testing and training. Then we'll analyze the hardware the elite are using right now, from weight and DPI to that elusive 8,000 hertz polling rate.
And you can't forget the surface. We have to understand how the mouse pad fundamentally dictates success.
Perfect. Let's jump straight into the framework that underpins this whole movement then. Voltaic.
Yeah, the brain behind the whole operation.
I see Voltaic referenced almost religiously in these competitive communities. So for someone just starting out, what is Voltaic and how did it become the standard?
Well, Voltaic started as an aim clan, but it evolved really, really quickly into the gold standard for FPS skill development.
Okay.
The best way to think of them is like the academic institution for aiming. Yeah, their mission is twofold. First, to provide structured guides and routines to actually foster improvement. And second, to deliver standardized, globally recognized benchmarks to measure that improvement.
So before Voltaic, it was just chaos.
Pretty much. People just spammed random scenarios. Now there's a curriculum.
Okay, let's unpack that curriculum because this is where the core philosophy seems to be, right? The difference between a benchmark and a routine. And the sources are so emphatic about this. Do not spam the benchmarks.
That distinction is paramount. It is the single most common mistake new players make.
And what is it?
Benchmarks are not training. They are purely a diagnostic and a measurement tool.
Okay, so like a driver's test.
A perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Think of it as your quarterly exam or your driver's license test. They measure your raw skill across defined tiers, from novice ranks like Iron all the way up to Celestial.
So they tell you where you are.
Exactly. They just track your progress over weeks and months. They don't make you better on their own.
So if the benchmarks are the test, what is the training?
The training happens entirely in the routines or playlists. That's where players should spend the vast majority of their time.
How much time?
We're talking 80 to 90%. These are structured methods, like the Voltaic Daily Improvement Method, or playlists built to fix specific weaknesses.
And crucially, they have to match your current skill level.
Yes, that's the key. If you place bronze, you religiously run the bronze.
That makes perfect sense. You train where you're at to build the habits you need to get to the next level.
Instead of just frantically chasing a high score on a test you're not even ready for?
Right, you're just learning to pass the test, not learning the material.
Precisely. It's about the fundamentals, not a synthetic result.
Now, speaking of results, the ranking system itself is pretty complex. How does Voltaic figure out a player's overall rank when there are a dozen different tests? It's not just your highest score, is it?
No. And it's brilliant in its complexity because it accounts for human inconsistency.
How does it work?
So your overall rank is mostly determined by the highest difficulty complete status you get. But, and this is the key, it's mitigated by an energy system derived from your scores in all the other scenarios.
Okay, wait, walk me through that. The energy system, what's the point of that?
The point is balance. It lets a player achieve a high rank, let's say diamond, without needing to be equally amazing in every single aiming subcategory.
Ah, I see.
So a dedicated Valorant player, for example, might be a god at static clicking. That helps them get that high complete status.
But maybe they're weak at tracking.
Exactly. The energy system ensures that unless they get enough energy from their tracking and switching scores, I think it's like 400 energy for gold, they can't just jump up the ranks by being a one-trick pony.
Okay, I see the elegance there. It rewards specialization but demands baseline competence. But doesn't that risk players just gaming the system?
How do you mean?
Well, just focusing on the clicking scenarios they're already good at to boost their rank, knowing they can hit that energy number, and just ignoring the hard work and tracking.
That is a valid criticism, and it's a constant tension in the community. The routines themselves kind of mitigate that risk.
How so?
If you game the benchmarks, you're going to hit a wall, and fast, in the actual structured routines for that higher rank.
Because the routines assume you have that cross-discipline skill.
Exactly. You can't hide those deficits forever. The community really pushes running the weakness-specific routines.
Okay, let's talk about those disciplines. Traditionally, it was what? Clicking, tracking, and target switching.
The big three.
But the latest benchmarks, Season 3 for AIM Labs, Season 5 for Kovacs, they added this advanced layer. You called them hybrids.
Yes. They introduced a new hybrid subcategory for each main skill: linear, control, and stability.
And that just raises the bar for assessment.
Significantly. What these hybrids do is they simulate real in-game movement complexity. For instance, the linear category, which is part of clicking, focuses on movements you'd see in a typical tactical shooter gunfight.
So it's balancing static targets with dynamic but predictable movement.
Exactly. They're moving beyond simple mouse control and starting to mimic the actual physics of the games themselves.
That is a huge leap in specificity. What other, ingenious engineering are we seeing in these new Kovacs S5 scenarios?
I mean, the design is approaching real game development. Take movement limitations. They introduced parallel walls to define a one-dimensional limit on a target's movement.
So the target can't hide, but its path is strictly controlled.
Right. It forces you to use a very specific aiming technique.
They're using physics constraints to force a predictable but hard-to-hit pattern. That's basically game design for a training map.
It is. And then there's the really technical stuff, like wall repel tech.
Okay, what's that?
In some scenarios, there are targets out of view that are constantly applying a knockback force to the visible targets.
So they're pushing them away from the walls.
Yes, whenever they get too close. It prevents targets from slipping edges, and it forces the player to react to really smooth, controlled, and challenging movements. It demands constant eye coordination.
It's forcing active aim adjustments. No more environmental advantages. Okay, and then there's the WW5T scenario for static clicking. The developers used a wide, curved spawn region. Why the focus on geometry?
That was a very specific design choice. It was explicitly put in to discourage the old habit of using super low sensitivities for precise clicks.
Ah, because the wide curve forces a bigger mouse movement.
A huge one. It forces you to execute these rapid wide flicks, leaning much more on speed clicking in your whole arm. It's a subtle way of forcing better form and a more practical sensitivity.
Fascinating. So that covers the brain, the philosophy, but all that philosophy needs perfect physical execution.
Which brings us to the hands and the hardware.
Right. What are the pros actually holding?
Well, if the software side is all about rigor, the physical side is this relentless quest for zero drag.
Zero drag, I like that.
And the pro analyses we looked at show an almost total dominance of ultralight, high-pulling wireless mice, especially in the Twitch shooter scene.
Give us the leaderboard as of early 2026. Who's at the top of this lightweight war?
At the very top, you have the Razer Viper V3 Pro, used by nearly 20% of professional players right now.
And its specs.
It's an incredible lean 59 grams, and it reports at an 8,000 hertz polling rate.
Wow.
And right behind it is the old champion, the Logitech G Pro X Super Light 2, which is just a tiny bit heavier at 62 grams.
And both are ambidextrous designs. That seems to be a major trend.
Huge trend.
The weight factor is just astounding. I mean, we used to think 100 grams was light, now 60 is standard.
The meta demands it. For those rapid, high-precision FPS movements, the aggressive flicks, you want the least amount of inertia possible.
Every gram requires muscle to start and stop the movement.
And every millisecond matters. The goal of these sub-80 and now sub-60 gram mice is to get that feeling of zero physical drag.
And we're seeing even more extreme examples.
Oh yeah, you've got the Corsair Saber Pro V2 Ultralight at 36 grams, the Lamzu Maya X at 49. It's an arms race to the bottom, weight-wise.
Okay, let's tackle the big technical buzzword then. Polling rate. We see 8,000 hertz everywhere. Why did it matter so much when 1,000 hertz felt fine for so long?
Right, so polling rate is it's the frequency the mouse reports its position to the computer. 8,000 hertz is 8,000 times a second.
But the key insight here isn't really speed, is it?
No, it's not. It's about predictability. It's about consistency.
So it's about reducing variance, not just raw latency.
Exactly right. For most people, the jump from 1,000 hertz to 8,000 hertz isn't this massive leap in perceived speed. It's about eliminating a variable. When you go from a low polling rate to a stable 1000 hertz on, say, a 144 hertz monitor, you can already reduce the visual response time variance a lot. Pushing to 8000 hertz just tightens that consistency even further.
So the player knows with absolute certainty when their input will register.
It's that psychological edge. You know your hardware is delivering maximum data with minimum jitter.
It's about removing any doubt about your input quality.
Absolutely. And there were some hardware nuances in how you even get these rates right.
Right.
Some of the top-tier wireless mice, like the Logitech GPX2, they're engineered to hit 80 kilohertz right out of the box.
But others aren't.
No, other high-performance options, like the Razer Death Adder V3 Hyperspeed, they actually require you to buy a separate hyperpolling dongle to unlock that maximum rate.
So that's a cost and convenience factor to think about.
For sure.
Okay, beyond the raw specs, shape and feel are so personal. What are the common shapes pros are gravitating towards?
Well, the ambidextrous shape is the statistical winner.
Why is that?
Mostly it's versatility. It works great for both claw and fingertip grip styles. But dedicated ergonomic shapes are still very prominent.
Like which ones?
Mice like the Razer Death Adder V4 Pro or the Zowie EC2 CW. They prove that comfort for long sessions is still king for a lot of players.
And what about the coating? It sounds like such a small thing, but hand moisture can wreck precision.
It's a tiny variable that can absolutely ruin a clinch moment. Take the Razer Viper V3 Pro. It uses this smooth, almost chalky, rubberized coating.
Okay.
And reviewers noted it gets incredibly grippy when your hand warms up a bit. It just locks the mouse into your hand.
But there's a downside.
There is. If your hands sweat too much, that same coating can become sticky, which is a huge drawback. It just highlights how individualized this all is.
Before we move to the final piece, the surface, let's just quickly put the DPI wars in context. We see mice with like 44,000 DPI. Is that at all useful?
It is entirely irrelevant for competitive aiming.
A marketing spec.
100% a marketing spec. While the sensor can do it, the vast majority of competitive FPS players, your CS2 and Valorant pros, use extremely low DPI settings.
We're talking 400 or 800 DPI.
Exactly. Combined with a low in-game sensitivity, that's crucial for precise small adjustments. The higher DPI settings are really just for desktop work or navigating huge monitors.
Got it. Low DPI, high polling rate. That moves us to the final and I think most underrated component, the control surface.
Yes. The mouse pad. It is not just a resting spot for the mouse, it is the crucial variable that defines your control, your speed, your friction.
If you put a Formula One engine on muddy tires, it won't perform.
The pad is the tire. That's a perfect way to put it.
And when you dive into the enthusiast sources, one name comes up again and again: Artisan. What sets this Japanese manufacturer apart?
Artisan is the epitome of specialized premium manufacturing. They're based in Japan, and their focus is purely on quality and performance. Meticulous stitching, special foam layers, unique weaves.
All designed to achieve a very specific glide.
Something that mass market pads just, they don't replicate.
And their flagship seems to be the Artisan FX0. How does that one achieve its blend of speed and control?
So the FX0 is often recommended as the perfect transition pad. It's the closest thing to a traditional cloth pad, like a kick, but with way better performance.
And its secret is the surface.
Yeah, a high-density knitted polyester. Its hallmark is what they call ease of stopping.
And that stopping power comes from, what, the weave?
Exactly. The slight surface irregularities in the twisted yarn dough. It provides just enough friction to lock in a micro-adjustment without feeling slow or sluggish.
And players can even customize the tactile feedback with the foam inside the pad.
Absolutely, and this is where Artisan gets really technical. The pad comes in different hardnesses: soft, mid, and X-soft.
What's the difference?
A mid pad gives you a consistently firm surface, so it maximizes speed. But the soft and X-soft pads, they let you press down on the mouse to create a little cushion.
And that cushion increases the drag.
It increases surface drag, giving you critical control for those tiny hair trigger adjustments in a clutch. The pad becomes a reactive input device.
That's a powerful idea. The pad isn't static, but the sources noted a big drawback to the Zero's weave.
Yeah, the price you pay for that unique weave is maintenance. The structure is just notorious for trapping hair, lint, dust. It needs constant cleaning.
It's a trade-off, performance versus durability.
Always.
Stepping back, we can group pads into speed versus control. If the Zero leans control, what are some other cues?
For maximum control, the classic choice is the Zowie GSR. It has a very high surface friction, a damp glide, It's perfect for players who know they tend to overshoot. The VAX EPA is also beloved in that space for offering similar stopping power. And then on the speed extreme, you have artisan models like the Raiden, which is famously fast.
Can't ignore the new materials either. Glass pads, they sound like the ultimate speed option.
They absolutely are. Surfaces like the Voltaic VA005 are marketed strictly for speed. They have an ultra-fast glide and the huge advantage of being completely humidity-proof.
Total consistency.
Total consistency. The VA005 gets its speed from this subtle, frosted sensation, a micro pattern etched right onto the glass. It's quick, but it's predictable.
For listeners who want that perfect blend, but maybe without the maintenance headache of the Artisan Zero, are there any good cloth alternatives?
Definitely. The Lethal Gaming Gear Saturn Pro is often held up as a direct competitor to the Zero.
And what makes it attractive?
It offers a similar, highly controlled glide. Some say it has slightly more control than the Zero, while being way less prone to trapping hair and dust because of a different weave.
So you get the control without the constant cleaning. This whole deep dive has just reinforced a philosophy of maximum optimization. A systematic approach to training combined with gear designed to eliminate every possible variable.
The synthesis is clear. Optimization through rigor. Use Voltaic benchmarks to rigorously measure your skill, find your deficits, then use the targeted routines to systematically develop those mechanics.
And then equip yourself with the tools of precision.
An ultralight, high-pulling rate mouse paired with a specialized control surface like an Artisan Zero or a VX EPA. The structure is the shortcut.
The ultimate goal isn't just improving scores, it's about honing all aspects of your aim training, focusing on consistency and those micro adjustments.
Absolutely. And as a final provocative thought for you, the learner, to consider, aim training often focuses on big flicks and tracking motions.
Right? The flashy stuff.
But the research suggests one of the most powerful diagnostic tools is just a small, temporary change to your sensitivity.
How so?
By slightly increasing your sensitivity, just above your normal setting, you are immediately forced to rely much more on your wrist and fingers for small adjustments.
Instead of your whole arm.
Right. You can't rely on the sweeping stability of your arm anymore. This shift in muscle usage instantly highlights any mechanical inconsistency in your aim form, any shakiness, any overcorrection.
And it forces you to correct it on the spot.
It forces you to correct those flaws immediately. And when you go back to your normal lower sensitivity, you'll find you've gained a significantly higher degree of control and stability.
So use that temporary discomfort to force long-term precision.
That's the idea.
Use discomfort to force precision. A powerful idea to take into your next training session. Thank you for guiding us through this ultra-optimized world.
My pleasure.
We'll catch you next time for another deep dive.